These things on this floor, sir, I better resign and leave.
As elections give the citizens the chance to make their political decisions, constant demand for quality leadership from those they voted into office.
Look at us now, there is nothing, we are starving. Tᴜnūbū should please do something.
It's also important to having a Nigeria of end politicians on issues around politics and 98.3
4 tanker explosions in Nigeria. Guess what? Twice of that number have perished in the last 2 fuel from overturned tankers. Ask yourself, is it worth petrol, diesel, kerosene, and to stay alive? Whenever you see an overturned tanker of people attempting to scoop fuel, of the ones who depend on you than any way being otherwise. Remember, fuel scooping is
the sound of Lagos.
The Situation Room live on mainland 98.3 FM. Today is the 19th day of the month of June, year 2025. I would focus on the visit of President Buhari and the bad state of the road to the local government. It was a visit that had so much expectations hanging around it, especially with the mood of the state. Over 200 people be made to look like it was an official visit. Just so much around it. Does he warrant that they should just to welcome Mr. President? Just so much around it. But hey, beyond all of that, President is already in Kaduna today. Remember, I was supposed to be in Kaduna yesterday, but I had to move the visit of Kaduna till today just to be in Benue yesterday. But beyond, I have to, endure this temporary pain, but it was never going to repeat itself again. And the president said a lot of things yesterday, and the words are out. Oh, we bring the perpetrators to book. We promise that justice, the president's visit to Benue, in time will be adhered to. Of 23 people, days of 34. The IG is just still doing a lot of people, and then emotions start flying up. People start Benue, people start speaking out. I saw a video that was made by Innocent, talks about it. End the killing in Benue. The president needs to talk. Also said he was going to visit the state, and a memo was to come and welcome the president. And one would wonder, in a state that people are mourning, no matter who get affected. So imagine all of the razzmatazz that followed the visit of the president. Led to be at Benue a lot of times, whether in transit or doing one or two. The one in Otukpo, whether the one in Makurdi itself is almost nothing to write about. But all of a sudden, I saw a federal notice that the president gave was enough time for them to put all of that show of whatever it was yesterday. But I think the most important thing that the president was there and not just reduce the number, stops, because to say that there was a time where 17 local governments were under attack simultaneously. They reduced it to 11. 1999 constitution of this country is to see to the security and the welfare of your people, no matter what else you choose to do. So we look at a particular word that we've used and abused. The former governor of the state and now the secretary to the government of the federation, Mr. George Akume, individuals that should work together. These are two critical stakeholders that should be involved. IQ. Some people don't want you to succeed in politics. He also said, hey, a lot of people don't like me, but I'm here today. Assurance that, you know what, just keep doing what you're doing for whatever it is that people are not comfortable with. Mr. Adeyemi, good to have you join us on the show today.
Ask you, how are you? Who asked that? Because without the clearness, people will. You will be surprised that if you consider people that
recorded such casualties.
They have not recorded such casualties. So I think we have money, but by and large, let me see.
Talk about on the show the visit village of having platforms, and then we kept talking about the Prince International in 20 that homeless. So it's not a case. They've said that the media have also been a part of the whole Benue. It didn't get this much attention. In Niger State, the flooding took the life of over maybe 300 people, and a lot of people still missing till today. He didn't even get this money. And then the Inspector General of Police was also there earlier than the president, the SGF. How did you feel that we had to wait till 200?
Well, thank you very much. I've come to decision some structures in Nigeria for the odor, or you can see him winking at, and which is quite unfortunate. And again, is that if we have been having good structure before it should do its work. Nobody should do, I think, the chief of the service chief, and so it's a failure on the part of all of them before we come to the Mr. President. There's always believe and how much the sleep is snoring. And I assure you, before we know there's hardly any communities. No, it's hardly any local governments we don't have. And if those people are finding their report to their chiefs, so we are not expecting a level of carnage of the country now asking them to arrest. You understand what I'm saying? So I think I don't know why Mr. President that meeting. And there's some of these people that are responsible, at least for this immediately. If carnage of such magnitude is acting within a community, and up to now they not, I don't know what IG is doing in that office. I simply don't know. Forget the issue of sentiment, forget the issue of race, forget the issue of where it comes from. I don't know who comes from this. What I'm saying is that, yes, we are from the same community. I did been a single arrest. Who knows? The police have seen it as a normal issue in that community. That maybe didn't happen. I gave ultimatum to IG and the Commissioner of Police to all the for not doing it apparently. So Mr. President is supposed to hear such AIG in charge for not giving me enough reports, and the SS director they're supposed to give Mr. President assurance that because I see nothing that should preoccupy the mind of eyes were being wasted. They released the name of about 140 people that died in this carnage. Such lives, they are still enjoying taxpayers' money, which is meant to protect them and expect them to do so and to make Nigeria happy. I'm not expecting somebody to do everything of what he has done to Nigerians. And the people refuse to arrest anybody. What are you saying? You are encouraging more attacks. Continue to sponsor them. And then before you know it, nowhere, I see no reason that which when scholars I think should be flipped. And are you telling me now that now, let's look at the community or people in government, they were not trying to, and some part of Kogi, some part of Taraba, some part of people which is forcing down to Benue, Plateau, and it's a survivor. And let me tell you, let my readers, so let our listeners be holding whatever that owns this cattle. No, they were rich individual families that own this cattle. So they only pay this as their pay salary. They are paying those who see that everywhere you confine the cattle in the world, you don't allow cattle to roam around the game, except in where they from the cattle. Yeah. It is the first time I'm seeing ranches. See, then in the cattle also, everybody wanted to some that planted testing the crops. Or let's just plant it. The thing was just doing. I want to day all over again. First, they developed a stitchy of fries and some other things. It's a new thing, the kind of innovation they want one day. And they finished because it's a research going. Where you are recording, you are making analysis every day, you are following this thing every day. So and you expect the donor agencies again to do that. Stellar farm. The old man was almost shedding tears. They entered the old man's farm and finished the farm just one night. Sold it. Hundreds of such is happening in Benue, Nasarawa, Plateau, part of Kogi, every day. Every day. People will call it the pressure attack. As Mr. President mistakenly said in Yᴏᴜᴜᴜ whatever. In Benue matter, it was no longer a replacer attack. It was no longer a elders in Benue community. Is that in part of Taraba State? Is that grazing? So they have the land very good for grazing, and that's why you see their yams the way they come. They are not targeting some of the mercenaries being hired by others. If the mercenaries coming, I think from maybe the the whole community. Once you exterminate that community consistently, so we are talking of genocide. We are talking of an attempt to wipe off a particular tribe because some people wanted to occupy their God within 2 years. Benue people. Good. Now, what happened to the land that have been deserted? Those lands of those communities you go there, that outcome. I just want to ask you a question to investigate what happened to the one single tribe. So, where you know we have been buying yams before, so we're not going there to buy fraud. Somebody asking the question. So, what is that? And then, because of mischaracterizing the farmer's flag, no, you'll be doing it as so that let's look at it. It's a genocidal crisis that to occupy it for grazing. The real picture of the crisis. But that's what you're talking about. What is going like that is quite unfortunate. Now begin to hear what anybody would say. The orientation and practice cannot, I don't think, good for governing a country where any part, the local government is in Nigeria. I don't see any. It's just like making hope. We are Iraq, Iran, Syria, Israel.
The bombs are flying everywhere.
Religion and state. I think we thought about in St. Thomas, we are talking where we have not looking. Governor is looking at everything. People, when it was governing, Jonathan, people, I'm saying is that how people will soon be consumed. Shame in the state. What is it that if you see any cow,
you find, kill the cow and eat it.
Slaughter it.
That was what Fᴏᴜᴜ said.
And also again, cows. They were arresting cows, almost sent all the farmers away from that place. But when Fᴏᴜᴜ shook was determined, and the Buhari had nothing to do than to keep quiet. But now, because Fᴏᴜᴜ was so brutal, the Benue community went to meet and gave their community. What did they get the support of the governor?
No.
And so we are talking of so the governor, if you cannot, if you think you want to look at the, I'll tell you, when Obama, the president of America, the president approached his wife, Hillary, which was very popular. A very popular husband can be a president of the country. Does that what it takes? My president is eminently qualified. But if a president will uphold the Constitution, that a president is not that will refuse to sign that warrant and found guilty of that offense and he said he should die by hanging. Any group leader take cocaine to Saudi, you will think twice of it.
Because you know once you get caught, you are gone.
You will not get out of it. We are not saying people, we are not confirm somebody gives to a particular offense. If you are not being governed by the law of your law happening. So what the point of this matter, if it does not require capacity, right, let he live. This is, you might say Machiavelli, what call it, mother the cathedral. What the fellow told Machiavelli, the end justified in the state. No, he said no. So here, as we have compatibility in governance, you should go and borrow sense from people. It happens. So what I'm saying is that the summary of this question I asked, if I'm not asking, if I have not taken too much time on asking one question, the service chiefs, IG, the religion of duty, and they're supposed to convince Nigeria where they are sitting, why they are sitting to occupy those offices. Secondly, is that we have an extermination of a particular race for commercial reasons of governor, if the Reverend Father Aliyah, and he cannot act as a statesman, as a governor, he should go back to the pulpit and be preaching Jesus loves. He would just love his sinners, these who are perpetrating this act to God, to give poison as a failure.
I will have asked, because there had to be one of the things that people have said the most, Mr. DM, is the issue of political willpower. And I'm always wondering if you would abide by every letter of that constitution. So, constitution is supposed to be your guiding principle, your guiding document in terms of policy. Governor, to function even as a local government, I feel a bit uncomfortable because the constitution already gives you enough power. So when people say, oh, the governors don't have political willpower, the politicians don't have political sentiment, or your religious sentiment, facts that we have service chiefs, eventually have been killed in Benue, and they are still going to get at these people that were in the ITP camps. This is all of the law, and those taxpayers could not be protected. It says a lot about the responsibility of the governor. He's also talked about the governor declared a public holiday and for people to come in groups. There were kids, secondary school kids, drenched in the rain, singing. Mr. Diemi, we saw the banquet hall that hosted Mr. President. It was asleep with the eyes closed. What do you make of that? From Otukpa to Otukpo to Makurdi, I've been around. And I've seen the state walls that the president visited yesterday. In those walls, what do you make of all of the drama that followed the visit of the president to Ben?
Of Governor Aliyah's relief issue and to speak more money in the city. Did they have money? How that happened? Kapala. Within 24 hours, and they go back to the actors, So it's what
farm,
yes, around the bush. They will continue to do it. The more we allow them to do it, we allow them to. We choose them doing it. Certainly, when they commission a road, I forgot the road. On they've not done 30% of it. They've not done 30%. When the noise was too much, that they would not commission this for a first part. First, they said, the governor knew that if you had to go ahead, maybe you will kill some people. You go apologize later. But the more people try to resist and then compromise, all these things were at the photo of we saw the president visit. Now I'm saying that where I can see people return the tragedy we want to tell you that they want to escape with the third bomb. But man, maybe the wife took the children somewhere for committing offense. Than the children the children are not bad. Father, but for mobilization. This such money has been after we look at hunters. Certain we are going to meet local hunters when the government meeting the president. The government, are you saying he can perform miracles at least to wake up those dead souls, legs that is God, and we allow that. Because I always say that in Nigeria, democracy has not worked the way it should work because CCTV of ensuring they follow the principles and letters of the Constitution have not been done well. Maybe because of our long years, never had a flight again. Maybe never. So, whatever they think is not good,
Talk.
so they will not talk. Epilepsy power supply in their area. The nightmare has. What CBA is, what are they doing? Where they park the rubbish inside the drainage, but still left for the rain to come and wash those things back. What are they saying? Are they speaking? Are they talking? Well, but for the early this year, Davin Street almost every day to Capitol. You see people carry the done, but not done. But yes, so our people have their two those sides. I cannot understand. But we still believe that with God, all things are possible on their frivolities, on their fantasies, and continue to languish in poverty and penury. So, that is the person. To join them in the mass area. I'm telling that when we go to the mass area, come and join us. Let's see us in our true color then. When we go to the mass area. Imagine the copies of over 300 people where there's no war. Advantage I think the meeting apart from other optics is that when it came up, so if that's the sickness can take it, only take away the war. To say that in the public, just now, what is their work? To go after Yahoo boys.
The governor of Kaduna State, His Excellency Governor Obasani earlier today, and then he was talking about the fact that couldn't go to school, for every mother that couldn't attend, that couldn't get, primary health care, and he now turned it around. He said for every, health care that is a sign to the leadership. In for 2 years down the line, it looks like the governor of Kaduna State times in securing their communities go to the other side and maybe come Kaduna today, and it looks like Kaduna is the next investment hub in the northern part of the country. I think
that's what we are saying. It finds solutions to most of the problems we're talking about, because it has all its battlefields where blood were the fundamentalists and is a belief empowered a particular set of people that marginalized to the extent of people were saying these things were wrong. Yes. Remember the gentleman how he was talking. Now I'm saying there. Not only them, the people that love peace. Remember many blueprinter is talking of that he wants to govern this country. Should such people should be taken seriously against country? General Mustafa saying he wants to contest
for president.
And you begin to wonder, it's not them Mustafa of the is not the Mustafa of that under any instructions that make Nigeria so much blood in his hand and see coming up now to say what content brush you can paint. See what Uba has done within 2 years. When it comes to people, at least to if you don't consult anybody to do what is right, the blueprint is there and allows Kennedy to that Kenya not the Muslim carriers. He has meetings with the critical stakeholders. So what the attackers, all of them are the middle ground. And now we have not reported for the last 1.5 years. We have died on unusual killing in Kaduna State. And let me say, look up in the way our agency said it. You know, say, to borrow himself, how a governor protects his state. How a governor protects his state. But we can see two of these leaders is going to be for people talking of religion is behaving like this. So I want people to try and study governance, what's going on presently in Benue State. Where I have every father. How the political win. I want to solve a problem. We solve it. Because they have the resources. And they have the information. They report to you. Councillors, they have the communication, they know whatever is happening everywhere and every minute. This is just going to the state. But to apply, please, if those who that deserve to be punished, you not keep them off the community, you yourself will not feel too close. If you know some people are notorious armed robbers, you not arrest them and keep them off society, they will see your property one day or your neighbor. That's why there is knock. You must, as a governor, love your people and implement the law as provided. You swear to protect the law. You swear to implement the law. You are given a copy of the Constitution. I asked you, I was at another forum. I was asking my people that when last have they seen governor signing death warrant? You know how many people have been on the death road in the people in the state? So the community. So the Supreme Court and the governors of these states have refused to sign their death warrant. Are they claiming to be sent to the public? No. They won't tell us that they don't want to have, in the public, they don't want to have blood in their hands. Is that a blood in your hand? Somebody by law has been, I think, let people govern according to the laws of the land. Let them respect the Constitution. Let them also request of the law for any misdemeanor. But if we refuse to apply what the law says, so in Benue State, let Aliyah sit up and do. We pray we don't end first time this week.
Is the former head of politics of the president to Benue yesterday, and then the fallout of saying expecting him to act in the capacity as a governor, to be decisive and make calls when Abuja are the one causing chaos and sponsoring killings in Benue. And 3 weeks down the line, no arrest had been made, no name had been revealed or released to the public. Everything had gone cold. Imagine the governor of a state coming out to say that from Lagos, that in Abuja, the governor just said lawmakers in Abuja are the ones sponsoring the killings in Benue. And after then,
if he knows them, right, why can't he get them arrested?
local government before the unfortunate one that happened just a few days ago. So if the governor is saying that, oh, I have people from Abuja, you would expect that the governor has security reports for the service chiefs and the IG yesterday. How many people have you arrested? They couldn't say anything. So if the governor says that the people from Abuja are sponsoring the killings in his state, what has been done? Let's talk to the people. Hello, good evening. Hello. Ooh, okay. I'll try and link up back with Mr. Adeemi because I know that there'll be a lot of questions that we need to answer. Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Cut the line. We'll try and reconnect with him. Just go on.
Yes, this is Samuel calling from Ojodu-Bega.
Okay.
Quickly, you see, there is no sincerity when it comes to this issue of security.
Okay.
You know, if you know my stand from the beginning of this government, the current president, Minister of Defense, politician, none of them have a military background, none of them have a police background, and you appoint them just based on politics. Now, the NSA, the question is that what was the president trying to achieve in bringing all these kind of people? Now, in US or any country, do you think that the president himself will still be in his position that you cannot go to that community because of the place was flooded, the road, bad road, and that? You can imagine. So, see, these politicians, they will never heads on. If not, we are moving nowhere with this kind of people that we have as our leader. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We also have messages on Facebook. I know the weather is kind of affecting the streaming. The people are really struggling to join the conversation. He said, why was the IGP laughing when the president asked why there had not been any arrest? Well, we all saw it yesterday. I don't know why he was laughing.
Hello,
good evening.
Good evening.
You're welcome.
Yeah. See, I went to last one. As I'm talking to you, know any teenage within that village. It's only men that are allowed to stay there because they are scared that the flood will come and attack them.
The
and the issue that are attaching to all this is that because of the way all those kings within the area and those politicians they call George Akume today, they are involving of allow these people settle in Benue State more than to those people. 20 years ago, some land has been located to these Fulani people for grazing or knowing to the villages. The rich people are already taking this money. And we are trying to say this thing. The reason why when the president said that is because it's a political or something like that. People that don't even have the information about it, they will come on here and they begin to claim that the government just making mere statement. It's not a mere statement. It's the real and it's the fact. I cannot even talk about. I will make the reason why I mentioned George Akume. Let him hear me. And the reason why I mentioned all those remarks today, because they take advantage. Those children are already grown up now, and they begin to head and seek information. This is why This is why the problem is. And the area that I grow up, more than 10 years, I did my first president in terms of the statement, and people will not understand it. This land has been sold to this polling more than 20 to 30 years ago. Unknowingly, what is the problem in the practicalship today? When they call jobs, because the land has been sold to the Fulani people, and if you go to the church today.
Thank you. That's a lot. That's a whole lot of information being given out there. Let me talk to Barrister Peter Oko.
God bless you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. The issue you are addressing is very, very cogent, and it has struck me with interest because you see, this issue of insecurity is universal across Nigeria. It's the same symptom: insincerity, lack of accountability, and gross corruption. You see, the issue of Benue that the president went to address, the doctor there were saying that it is the politicians in Abuja that are sponsoring the killing. So you don't know what they believe. They say the next thing they say they are coming
from across our borders from Niger. So how do you reconcile all these things? You know, it's contradictory. The issue is that if the governor knew all this all along, what has he done? Why did he not report it to the president? You know, why does he have to take the chief security officer? Why is he not aware of all these developments? Then, in the case of Kaduna State, which I consider my second home after Delta, third home is Lagos. Because when I came back from the US in 1982, I served in Kaduna State. That is where I met my wife and married. It is the hot bed of crisis. Yes, no, in the south. And then
Peter, please wrap up your thoughts so that we can talk to other people as well.
Okay, God bless you.
Thank you.
The northern Kaduna is Christian, Muslim. So there's a long hatred, division between Christians and Muslims. And if it takes a man that is serious and honest to create peace in Kaduna State, I think that this current governor is doing that. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Barrister Peter, for joining us on the show today. I have loads of messages to pick. So I'll have to, just go through the message real quick because we're really pressed for time. This one says, on these thorny and heart-wrenching issues of the Rondo's genocidal attack going on in Benue, it's so shameful and embarrassing that people of Benue have become refugees in their own land and are being slaughtered without any form of defense in the face of ruthless attack by the Fulani herdsmen. If after all the razzmatazz we saw in Benue and Tinubu does not have a lasting solution to these senseless attacks going on in the country, then would intensify the public outcry until he arrests us. Thank you very much. Titus from Ogba, Lagos says, good evening, Okwe. I'm from Benue State. Concerning the hospital, the banquet hall, and the many you mentioned, that is Benue State Teaching Hospital is being transformed. Okay. And it's one of the things that many politicians in the state are not happy about with him, simply because he has refused to be sharing money on the table. And I would like you to call anyone else who lives in Makurdi to verify what I'm saying. It's not because of the insecurity. If not because of the insecurity, Alia remains the best governor. Okay, that's Titus from Ogba. Thank you very much. This one says, okay, you asked the question already, John from Ijanikin. You're asking why the Inspector General of Police was laughing when the president asked about if any arrest had been made. Owen from Lagos said it's rather unfortunate that this set of politicians have to decide to wear incompetence with so much pride and shamelessness with no ounce of empathy. May God help us. We've come to the end of the show through the world of sports on Sports Cruise Live on Mila 98.3 FM. My guest on the show today was Mr. Mᴜyíᴏ Adéyẹmí, the former chief political editor of Guardian newspaper. He joins me every Thursday. Well, let's do this tomorrow. Sage Babalola, of course, the Jacking Pelinos by 4 o'clock tomorrow. Stick around and keep your dial locked only on Mila 98.3 FM. My name is Okpeyemi. The next stop is the Global News Sports Cruise by 6.